Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland's virtual morning mixer in support of decent and affordable housing. My name is Kelly Leonard, and today I'm coming to you virtually from the Habitat Restore in Silver Spring, Maryland. If you don't already know about the Restore, don't worry, because you'll hear more about that later in the program. But just remember, the Restore is the store that helps you to build homes. I'm delighted to have several hundred people joining us this morning. It's exciting to highlight that we have attendees as far south as Atlanta and as far west as Chicago. We also have a significant number of folks joining us from their homes throughout Metro DC area. Later today, this video will also be replayed for the Habitat Metro Maryland's website for a number of Freddie Mac employees located on the West Coast. Welcome to you all, and thank you for joining us today to learn more about Habitat Metro's work to build strength, stability, self-reliance, and affordable housing right here in Montgomery and Prince George's counties. For nearly 40 years, Habitat for Metro Maryland has worked with thousands of volunteers, hundreds of businesses, faith communities, civic organizations, and local governments to do just that, to build decent and affordable housing with families who simply seek a hand up, not a hand out, on their journey to home ownership. We have a lot of great information to share with you this morning and stories on how Habitat Metro Maryland has been working in our community to build and repair homes, as well as some insight into two very exciting projects that are in our pipeline. But first, I have the pleasure of introducing the Reverend Belinda Gentry, Associate Pastor at First Baptist Church of Glen Arden, to lead us in prayer. Reverend Gentry.
Greetings from First Baptist Church of Glen Arden. So honored to be with you today. Let us ask God's blessings on our time together. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and all it entails. Thank you, Lord, for Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland. Thank you for all their labor of love to families in this area. We are so grateful for the work they do in building hope and homes. We are grateful, Lord, because indeed they are making a difference in the lives of so many. Thank you, Lord, for this staff. Continue to bless them, to strengthen them as they make a difference in lives all over this area. We are also thankful, Lord, for the collaboration between organizations and volunteers that have the same mindset, so that they are bringing to fruition affordable housing for families. We pray you continue to provide the financial resources and the human resources. We ask your blessings, O Lord, and protection on every build site and every build team. Let there be unity and overflowing love, O Lord, among us. And as we gather today, would you just smile on us that our time together would be fruitful? May you get all the glory and honor. Amen.
Thank you for that beautiful prayer, Reverend Gentry. Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland believes that a stable, decent place to live with an affordable mortgage enables homeowners to save more, to invest in education, to pursue opportunity, and to have greater financial stability. Thus, through Habitat and all of you watching virtually today, people's lives are put on a new path, one where stability and self-reliance are actually obtainable, not just merely aspirational. We do our work because we believe no matter who you are or where you come from, we all deserve the opportunity to have a decent life. We all deserve to feel strength and stability day after day. We all deserve to know that we have the power to take care of ourselves and to build our own future. At Habitat for Humanity, that's what unites us. Our shared vision is a world where everyone has a decent place to live. Why? Because you, me, we are all humans. And every single one of us deserves the opportunity for a better future. Let's take a few moments to learn more about Habitat for Humanity, Metro Maryland.
Everyone deserves a decent place to live. It touches me deeply because growing up, I always had that security. When I came home from school, I was coming to the same address. I want everyone to have that access to a safe and decent place to live.
Habitat for Humanity is all about inclusivity, bringing people together and focusing on the need for decent and affordable housing. Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland started in 1982, and what we're really excited about now is this house that we're in right now is our 99th home that we're building, and we're coming up on over 500 homes that we have repaired or weatherized. So we're really hitting some significant milestones.
We are here to serve families that would not otherwise have access to home ownership. These are people who are hardworking. They have a stable income. It's just that the cost of housing in this area is prohibitive.
Part of, I think, the great thing that Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland does is advocacy, not just about the need for affordable housing, but the understanding that there's so much unaffordable and inadequate housing in the county.
Everyone deserves a decent place to live, and that, I mean, some people may have a roof over their head, but maybe it's in disrepair. Maybe they can barely afford that roof. They may not be able to save for a child's education or even to put food on their table. So to have an affordable place to live takes away that anxiety and allows them to build a better life around that safe and comfortable home. As an architect, I feel that the homes that Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland are building are extremely well built. They're sturdy, they're safe, they're energy efficient. It just doesn't get any better.
Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland really tries to empower families. They work with families because when you have your own home, there's more to it than just having a key, opening the door, and letting things happen.
Throughout the entire process of construction, they're actually taking home buyer workshops with me. This is preparing them with financial literacy, money management, also home maintenance. Then we prepare them for loan closing. We take them through every single document so they'll know what they're signing and what their responsibility is under a mortgage. If I were to ask the average person, did you know what you just signed when you got your mortgage? The answer would be no. So it gives me great pride that when they get to closing, they're confident and they know exactly what their documents are and they're signing and ready to go.
They feel in control of their own mortgage, they feel in control of their own house, but they also feel in control of their own lives now that they have a simple, decent place to live.
You know, I think every donation makes a difference, but there's a lot of other ways people can get involved, whether it's helping out at our special events, volunteering on the build site, volunteering in the office, volunteering at the Restore. You know, the Restore raises unrestricted revenue for the affiliate.
The Restore is a great aspect of Habitat for Humanity. One of the challenges, I think, is that a lot of the customers that come in don't necessarily know the connection to Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland. It's not just about buying a discounted cabinet. It's that you are literally supporting the mission to help build affordable housing.
So basically, Restore is what you would call kind of a mini home improvement store. But what we do is we take in new and slightly used items, and then we sell them at a discount based upon the condition that they're in. And then all of our net profits go to help support affordable housing in the Metro Maryland affiliate. When they hear Restore, I want them to think of Habitat, and I want them to think of somebody getting into their own home and having a roof over their heads every day.
When a family moves into a house, you're changing their lives, not just for that generation, but several generations down the line.
Once you have the option of home ownership, that opens up a number of doors that you would not have otherwise had. You have the ability to build generational wealth by not only the equity that you have access to within your property, but you're also becoming part of a community.
I mean, one of my favorite things on the job site is how we leave messages on the 2x4s, on the framing. No one will ever see it again. It'll get covered up in drywall, but you see the love in the team that is there building alongside you, the love from the staff who are there day in and day out, and it's important to them. Then you hear the story of the future homeowners, or you may be building alongside the future homeowners, and it's a beautiful experience.
Together, we are forming a community, a family, to build hope, to build houses, and to build each other up so we can build other people up. So my passion really is just around people, and the Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland staff and volunteers and family are just, they're like none other, so I love it.
Every donation makes a difference. It doesn't matter the size of the donation. It's that commitment to, yes, I want to change a life. And this is what I'm able to do right now. And I know Habitat, we're great stewards of people's resources. Habitat is the vehicle by which I can change the world.
I'd like to take a moment to recognize the enormous generosity of many businesses, organizations, and individuals who are making today's virtual event possible. We are blessed to have so many supporters who recognize the importance of affordable housing in Montgomery and Prince George's counties. A special thank you to Freddie Mac for their partnership as the signature sponsor for today's Morning Mixer. Over the past 20 years, Freddie Mac has helped countless families in Montgomery and Prince George's County experience affordable homeownership through Habitat Metro Maryland. We are also grateful for their involvement with us here today. I'd also like to express our gratitude to Bank of America for their support as a community sponsor and our Build Block sponsors, who include Brown Advisory, Clark Construction, Host Hotels, PWP Video, and Turnkey Title. We are also thankful for our generous home builder sponsors for their support. They include ACH, Craftmark Homes, Elm Street Development, Paragon Title, Sandy Spring Bank, and Truist. You'll also notice on the screen in front of you the depth of support from all our corporate sponsors and partners who have invested in affordable housing in our community. The Habitat model works only because of the generous support of the wider community. Thank you again for your generosity in supporting Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland. I'd also like to give a shout out to the elected officials who've joined us today to learn more about Habitat. We could not do our work without the support of these individuals who believe, as we do, that everyone deserves the opportunity to a decent life. Now, I'd like to introduce you to a special woman and her two children. Crystal, Habitat Metro Maryland's newest homeowner, moved into her home just a few months ago. This past May, she purchased her house from Habitat with a zero-profit 30-year mortgage and soon moved her two children into their new home. Let's hear her story.
I wake up some mornings and I'm just in disbelief. A little over a year ago, I did not know where I would live. I did not know where my kids and I would be. So my name is Crystal Thomas, and I am the proud owner of this beautiful home that was built by Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland. I have two children. I have a daughter who's 12 years old and a son who's 7 who has complex medical needs. He was born extremely prematurely. He is a surviving twin, so his twin sister passed away shortly after birth, and he's just totally dependent on others for all activities of daily living. Because of my son's complex medical needs, I chose to leave my job as a school administrator, which of course changed my family dynamics, salary, and so forth. I was living, as a single parent with my two children, and I realized, that I could no longer afford the place where we were living. It was very scary, just not being in a stable and safe place for myself, my son in particular. And so it was very challenging to find affordable, accessible, safe housing. And I searched and I searched, and I actually one day was having a conversation with a coworker who mentioned Habitat for Humanity. Because I was living in Prince George's County, I searched and I found that there was an affiliate, Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland. And lo and behold, they were building a universal design home in Prince George's County. It was perfect. It was, universal design, which gives me the accessibility that I need to maneuver with my son. It's kind of an open concept. And as soon as I saw that, I immediately knew that home was meant for me. It was an affordable home ownership program, and I knew it would be in like a safe neighborhood because they vet the neighborhoods. And so I began the process. I applied and I waited and waited and, in anticipation. And then I finally got the call that I'd been accepted to purchase a home, and my life changed, at that moment. I have 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, all one level, and I have a rolling shower for my son now. I also have a wonderful deck on the back of my home, and so my son gets to go outside and still get fresh air, and we blow bubbles, and my daughter hula hoops. So it's definitely just a blessing. Being able to own my own home is just security. It's a long-term level of security that can't be replaced. Supporting Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland means that you are giving families like myself an opportunity that they would not have in any other circumstance. You're actually changing the lives of family members in this area. The staff, they were wonderful from the beginning of the process all the way through construction. I just really feel like they are a family. It wasn't just, a team of people building a home. I am forever grateful to each and every member of the staff, to every volunteer, to every donor, because they truly changed my life.
Such an amazing story. Isn't it great to see the impact of Habitat for Humanity in the community and the lives of the people we work with? Thank you again for joining us this morning. My name is Reverend Rachel Cornwell, and I'm a board member, the Faith Committee chairwoman, and also a donor to this great organization. All of us at Habitat Metro Maryland appreciate your interest in our mission and hope that the 2 videos you've seen this morning have helped to show you the impact that Habitat is making in the community. If you ever wanted to change the world and see the impact of your efforts, then we invite you to join us today. Habitat is best known for engaging people from all walks of life in rolling up their sleeves and getting a little dirty and lending their hands to our efforts. And we certainly need volunteers at our restores and our build sites and in our advocacy work. But along with that generous gift of time, financial support is critical to helping more families find strength, stability, and self-reliance through decent and affordable housing. Our goal for today's event is to help educate people on Habitat's mission and raise $130,000 toward affordable housing in Montgomery and Prince George's County. On the screen below, you can find the link to give to Habitat Metro Maryland. Some of you already registered and donated when you registered for today's event, and I'm grateful for your support. If you've been moved by the stories you heard today, then please consider a gift. No amount is too small, and every donation makes a difference. A contribution of $50 helps provide a new door to keep our families safe inside their new homes. A donation of $100 or more helps to buy the wood to frame in walls or put insulation into the attic. A donation of $300 or more helps to purchase new windows that enable a child to look out on the world from a stable home. All your gifts matter because everyone deserves a decent place to call home. And your generosity helps families work toward that vision. At this time, I would like to introduce our CEO, John Paxis, to talk about affordable housing and his vision for Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland in the year ahead.
Good morning, everyone. My name is John Paxis. I'm the President and CEO of Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland. It's exciting to be joining you here from our Restore in Silver Spring today. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us. Your support and involvement with Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland is more important than ever as we work to build strength, stability, and self-reliance through affordable housing in Montgomery and Prince George's County. We could not do the work we do in the community without the support of the business and faith communities, as well as generous individuals who believe, like I do, that affordable housing plays a critical role in creating strong and stable communities. We are particularly delighted with our long-standing partnership with Freddie Mac and grateful for their leadership in supporting today's event. As you can see on the screen in front of you, today's event is generously supported by many of the partners in the community, such as Bank of America, Brown Advisory, Clark Construction, Host Hotels and Resorts, and Turnkey Tile, and many more friends and supporters of Habitat for Humanity. And we very much appreciate the support and commitment of our board of directors, as you can see listed on the screen. Thank you for your support. Thank you as well to former board members, many of whom are joining us today. Today I want to give you an update on accomplishments over the past year, tell you about 2 exciting new projects that we're working on, and share with you our vision for the years ahead. We were founded over 38 years ago in Montgomery County by a committed group of volunteers who wanted to make a vision of affordable housing a reality. It was about 7 years ago that our service area expanded into Prince George's County. Our mission is simple. We seek to put God's love into action. Habitat for Humanity brings people together to build homes, communities, and hope. We help people build homes to improve places to call home. We believe quality, affordable housing plays a critical role in strong and stable communities. Quality housing is a foundation of both individuals and families, and for meeting our most basic needs for living and providing opportunities to flourish. Increasing family stability, better health and nutrition, improve educational outcomes, increase job retention and productivity, and a great sense of dignity and pride. These are all connected to stable, decent, and healthy housing. As part of our homeownership program, families who partner with Habitat help build their own homes alongside volunteers. Completed homes are sold to qualified buyers with a long-term, interest-free mortgage. We believe that no one should have to pay more than 30% of household income on rent or mortgage. Habitat finances a 30-year, zero-interest mortgage with 1% down payment at settlement, and we roll the closing costs into the mortgage. It's really affordable. We believe anyone who's in a certain income range should have the opportunity to purchase a home from Habitat, or if they're an existing homeowner, to be able to age in place in a safe, energy-efficient home if they choose. Over the past year, we've achieved some significant accomplishments that I want to share with you. Remember Crystal's story from earlier in the program. I am so proud and thankful to our staff because during COVID-19, we made a conscious effort to complete Crystal's home on time. The home was sold to Crystal in May, and she was able to move into this home this past June. We also started to work on our 99th and 100th home, a milestone. You can see the photos of them on the screen. And we are so excited to be working on these homes with future homebuyers. Contrary to what many believe, Habitat does not give homes to people. Applicants for home ownership must have a demonstrated need for housing, must be in a certain income range, and must attend homeowner workshops including financial education and perform sweat equity to help build their home. In the past 38 years, we've built townhouse communities, purchased vacant foreclosed properties, and built new single-family universal design homes. You can see the photo of Universal Design Home on the screen. Our vision includes the expansion of building of universal design homes. We purchase vacant lots that are in existing neighborhoods that provides an ideal situation for a single-family home. Universal design homes are about smart and modern design that accommodates families at all stages of life. Those homes can accommodate family members with disabilities, and a zero-step entry helps families with young children and strollers as much as it does in someone in a wheelchair. We build homes to last 100 years. We are currently building universal design homes on county-owned lots that were purchased from the Prince George's County Office of Central Services. In addition, we have purchased and rehabilitated numerous vacant foreclosed properties in the region. You can see in the photo of New Salem, this is a vacant foreclosed property that we completely rehabilitated. Habitat's vision includes purchasing and rehabilitating vacant foreclosed homes or distressed properties. Our program of rehabilitation includes what we call a gut rehab, which simply means that an existing home is taken down to the studs and rebuilt from the ground up. It includes the complete rebuilding of a home, including a new electric, new plumbing, roof, windows, and so on. Homes are like new when they're sold to qualified buyers. Habitat's program of rebuilding these older homes revitalizes neighborhoods and provides affordable workforce housing. Another program that we administer is for older adults on fixed income who need repairs on their home but they can't afford it. Later in the program, you will hear from Joan, someone who benefit from our repair and weatherization program and aging in place program. Our experience over the years shows that many older adults on fixed income do not have the resources to do major repairs on their homes, such as replacing roofs, furnaces, and appliances. We have ongoing programs to help older adults age in place by doing repairs and weatherization of owner-occupied homes. Our focus is to prioritize health, accessibility, and safety issues and rectify any code violations in these homes. Our goal is to continue to combine funding from government agencies and private foundations to do this work and increase the number of homeowners served with this program every year. We are currently executing a program called Capable that was initiated by Johns Hopkins. This client-focused program partners with occupational therapists, registered nurse, Habitat for Humanity, and the Weinberg Foundation to identify challenges older adults are having in their homes and to work collaboratively to improve activities of daily living through home modifications and individualized work plans. And now I want to tell you some of the new projects that we're working on. First, I'm excited to announce a partnership with the City of Tacoma Park. This project is to convert a single-family home into a duplex that will result in affordable home ownership for 2 families. We want to specifically thank the City of Tacoma Park for their partnership and commitment to providing $200,000 to make the project a reality and more affordable for future buyers. This project will begin to address the need for what we call missing middle housing and will be located within 1 mile of the future Purple Line Transit Station. This project illustrates our vision for the future that includes the development and preservation of affordable housing in communities of opportunity, particularly with 1 mile of the future Purple Line. Affordable workforce housing near transit station provides healthcare workers, educators, service workers, convenient access to mass transportation. Secondly, we are pleased to announce an innovative and exciting project with AHC Incorporated. You know, AHC has been a prominent builder of affordable housing in the region for over 45 years. You can see a photo of the rendering of this project on the screen. The project is to construct 195 affordable mixed-income units in Silver Spring near the intersection of Randolph Road and Veers Mill Road. I want to take a moment to acknowledge Montgomery County government. This 6-acre project is on former county-owned land, and I want to thank the county for its leadership for prioritizing public land in a desirable neighborhood for affordable housing. AHC will build 168 affordable rental units, and Habitat will build 24 condos and 3 single-family universal design homes that will be marketed for home ownership. To follow these projects and access other information about Habitat's programs, please go to our website, habitatmm.org. Advocacy is so critical to our work. We realize that we cannot build our way out of the problem of a lack of affordable housing, but rather we must go beyond our building efforts to look for policy solutions that can affect more people. Our advocacy efforts include meeting with federal, state, and local governments to advance the cause of affordable housing. Habitat remains steadfast in its commitment to advocate for just and equitable housing policies that support housing along the continuum. We are proud to participate in Habitat for Humanity's first national advocacy campaign called Cost of Home. Habitat affiliates across the country are working locally and nationally to increase the supply and preservation of affordable housing, equitable access to credit, optimize land use for affordable housing, and ensure access to and development of communities of opportunity. Now you might be wondering, how do we pay for all this? We do our work with the support of local governments, business, faith groups, and individuals, many of whom volunteer on our construction sites or in our restores. Besides relying on donations, our work is financed in part by our restores. We're sitting in a restore today. The axiom of one man's trash is another man's treasure holds true here, as donations of items from teacups to furniture, when cleaned and repaired, turn into cash for our homes and building projects. Restores accept donations from individuals and businesses, and repurposes gently used furniture, appliances, and building materials. You know, over 150,000 customers visit our 2 restores every year. This robust endeavor does have paid staff, but it's volunteers who really bring it to life. Our vision for restores is to grow the business in the region and to promote the dual purpose of environmental stewardship and supporting the cause of affordable housing. Do you believe, as we do, that healthy housing means fewer doctor visits? Do you believe, as we do, that children perform better in school when they live in healthy housing? If you agree, then we need your help to provide more healthy and affordable housing in the counties we serve. Make a donation now and contribute to helping us make a great impact in the community. And finally, please vote. Your vote this November can help to ensure that the needs of the housing stability and affordability, particularly exacerbated by the COVID pandemic. Join Habitat for Humanity in making housing affordability a priority in this year's election. Thank you again for your interest and support of Habitat for Humanity. And now I have the privilege of introducing you to the CEO of Freddie Mac, Mr. David Brickman, to say a few words about Freddie Mac and our partnership. David?
Thank you, John, and good morning, everyone. I am very pleased to be here virtually for this important event dedicated to building hope from home. On behalf of everyone at Freddie Mac, I'd like to thank Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland and its president and CEO, John Paxis, for inviting us here today. And I thank the many people joining us, business leaders, local officials, volunteers, and families whose partnerships are vital for making such a positive impact in our communities. For more than 25 years, our partnership with Habitat Metro Maryland and other Habitat affiliates has revolved around the common goal of making home possible. And I believe this virtual event is a critically important signal that in this time of unprecedented upheaval, the work goes on. For our part, we are doing all we can to ensure families can buy, refinance, and keep their homes during this pandemic. And I know Habitat Metro Maryland continues to push its important mission forward as well. I'm very pleased to hear that volunteer crews are starting to safely return to build sites. And we look forward to picking up hammers, climbing ladders, and building homes for families again very soon. It's very fitting that both Freddie Mac and Habitat Metro Maryland will reach important milestones this year. Many of you know that this summer, Freddie Mac celebrated 50 years since our founding in 1970, during which I'm proud to say we have made home possible nearly 80 million times. This includes putting more than 2 million families in homes and apartments in Maryland alone. Similarly, Habitat Metro Maryland is celebrating its own remarkable accomplishment, starting work on their 100th home, a tremendous testament to the work they have done to address the critical affordable housing needs in Montgomery and Prince George's counties. While there is some sadness that our companies are reaching these milestones during a global pandemic, I believe it's an important reminder of the critical roles both organizations were created to play. Without question, affordable housing will continue to be a seminal challenge during our economic recovery. We at Freddie Mac are focused on doing our part by working across the industry to find ways to invest in new technologies and approaches that help lower construction costs, preserve existing affordable housing, and create more housing supply. And, like you, we remain focused on supporting underserved populations, particularly communities of color. As recent events have reminded us, long-standing issues of racial inequality continue to plague housing and homeownership opportunities. We take our obligation to do more seriously, and we look forward to working together with you and our industry partners to improve both access and opportunity in our communities. So again, thank you all very much for listening, and thank you to Habitat Metro Maryland for inviting us to participate in this fantastic event. Before the next part of the program begins, I'm very fortunate to be able to share a short video commemorating our 50 years that gets to the heart of the importance of what we all do and why we all are here today. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the program.
We write home in dashes. We hear it in hopeful exhales and sleepy ones. We see it in 100 shreds, in wobbly knees, and in confident leaps. When we think about home, we remember countless firsts, the times we found stability in a kitchen, safety on a couch, or an adventure underneath one. Because we draw our worlds in the shape of a home, and we define our lives by the times we've had there.
Good morning again. It has been such an informative morning so far. We hope you've learned more about Habitat Metro Maryland, Freddie Mac, and the many ways that they are working together to make home possible. I'm delighted to be here with John Paxis, Habitat Metro Maryland's president, CEO, and Jacqueline Welch. She's the Senior Vice President, Chief Human Resources Officer, and Chief Diversity Officer at Freddie Mac. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Jacqueline, let's start a question with you. David shared in his video that Freddie Mac celebrated a big milestone this summer, 50 years of making home possible. Can you tell us a little more about the critical role that Freddie Mac is playing in the housing market and what the mission of making home possible means for you?
Certainly. So good morning again, particularly to you, Kelly and John, and thank you, all of you, for having me participate in this virtual environment. So far, so good. You all are doing a fantastic job. Thank you to those of you who are watching and starting your day with us, and certainly to my Freddie Mac colleagues. Thank you for logging in and for everything that you do every day to serve our noble mission of making home possible. So I'll start with the second part of your question first, Kelly, in terms of the Freddie Mac mission and what it means to me personally. I am fond of sharing with people that I am a first-generation born American. My parents came here to this country from Central America, and I vividly recall them planning for and saving for our first family home. And I remember moving in and the joy of having my own room. I remember the window I would sit in and look out and dream and think about my future. And to this day, I still have friends who were formed in that neighborhood of our family home. So the mission itself is very personal to me. And the idea that I get to work for an organization that creates this same feeling of home for any American that endeavors to have a home is personally rewarding. As David said in his video, Freddie Mac's been around for 50 years, and in those 50 years, has had a hand in making home possible for 80 people, which is just staggering to consider. And in our mission, we exist to provide affordability, stability, and liquidity to the secondary mortgage marketplace. And David is often fond of saying that what should also be in our mission is this sort of fourth leg on equity, and again, making home possible for those who endeavor to have one. So yes, the mission is broad and it's deep with long-lasting impact, and it's certainly personal to me.
Awesome, thank you. John, Habitat Metro Maryland has some similar accomplishments, a lot to be proud of. Has started working on its 100th house and will be celebrating its 40th anniversary in 2022.
Right.
Those are such just impressive accomplishments. Can you share with us just the impact that Habitat Metro Maryland is having in Montgomery and Prince George's counties, as well as how the partnership with Freddie Mac has helped you achieve these accomplishments?
Yes, thank you for that question, Kelly. It's been very satisfying to myself and our staff and board of directors to provide healthy and affordable home ownership for working families in our region. A good illustration of our impact is that we have completed over 600 projects and directly serving more than 1,600 residents of Montgomery and Prince George's County through our programs. We have invested $22 million in the local economy through our work and have financed more than $15 million in 0% mortgages to income-qualified buyers. More than that, our homeowners have contributed more than $1 million in property taxes and counting to local governments over the years. What is so unique about Habitat is that we utilize volunteers to help offset our costs. Volunteers are able to engage with the cause of housing and affordability in a personal way while also learning construction skills that empower them to take on projects in their own homes. We engage more than 4,000 volunteers each year and help save Habitat nearly $900,000 annually. Freddie Mac has played a major role in supporting our mission of affordable housing with volunteers and financial support for over 20 years and in excess of $1.3 million. So we really appreciate that support.
Awesome. Thank you, John. Now, Jackie, back to you. How does your commitment to affordable housing and Habitat Metro Maryland align with Freddie Mac's mission? And why is community outreach and employee engagement so important to Freddie Mac?
So thank you for the compound question. So I'll start with the second, or the first one first, actually. So, when at Freddie Mac, we genuinely believe in community engagement. It's our pleasure and our privilege and our obligation, frankly, as an organization to serve the communities in which we live and work. I can't think of a more complementary partnership. Habitat for Humanity and Freddie Mac both make home possible. Literally and figuratively, as John has said, we've had a long-standing relationship with Habitat for Humanity writ large, and certainly in Maryland. As I'm told, I haven't been here for the duration of the relationship, but as I'm told, in Maryland we have partnered with you all to make home possible for 100 families in Montgomery County and Prince George's County. And our employees have donated 2,000 hours of sweat equity, literally taking hammer and nail to your construction sites. I myself have participated in bills, and I can tell you that our folks are always energized at the end to actually have had a hand in constructing a physical edifice where a family might live and thrive. So we really are committed to the idea of making home possible, and we really honor the partnership that we've had with Habitat for Humanity over these decades. And I think now, particularly in this COVID environment where we're all living and attempting to thrive, home means everything. Home is work, home is school, home is the converging spot. And so the idea that we've created this for 100 families in one county or 2 counties alone is quite rewarding for us and for our people.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And John, I know David alluded in the video to some of the racial inequities that we're experiencing. Can you share what Habitat Metro Maryland has been doing to address racial inequities in housing since the organization's inception?
Yes, I can. Thank you. Sadly, our nation has a long history of segregation and discrimination that has helped lead to massive gaps in wealth, health outcomes, education outcomes, and so much more. We must work together to dismantle systemic racism and ensure that everyone has equitable access to communities of opportunity. Here are some of the more concrete actions we have taken to combat housing discrimination. Through our alliance or our membership with the Montgomery Housing Alliance, we have called attention to the fact that lower income communities and communities of color in Montgomery County have been disproportionately affected by COVID and have higher hospitalization and death rates. We called on the county officials to increase testing and tracing in these hardest hit communities, and Alliance members are now hosting pop-up testing at affordable housing communities in some of the hardest hit areas. So number 2, zoning and land use policies have long been used to restrict housing types in certain neighborhoods. Also for restricting access to lower income individuals and people of color in desirable communities. We support zoning and land use changes that allow for more affordable housing types in communities of opportunity. We believe that the missing middle housing, like our duplex project in Tacoma Park, can play an important role in providing affordable ownership and rental opportunities in communities with high-quality schools, transportation, healthcare access, and green space. And number 3, we are also support efforts to preserve and develop affordable housing around future Purple Line transit station. Large-scale public investment in transit so often leads to gentrification and ultimately the displacement of people of color and lower income residents. We want to ensure that residents of all income levels and races are able to benefit from public infrastructure investment.
Awesome. Thank you. Jackie, John, thank you both so much for this informative exchange, and then also thank you for your personal and professional commitment to this very important work. We're so appreciative of you both.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Now, in this last portion of our program, I'm excited to introduce you to a delightful woman, Ms. Joan, who is the beneficiary of Habitat Metro Maryland's weatherization and aging in place programs. In case you didn't already know this, for over a decade, Habitat Metro Maryland has started a critical repair and major home weatherization program for families who currently own their own home, but encounter critical health, life, and safety issues, and due to financial or some sort of physical limitation, they're unable to repair their homes. As an organization, Habitat Metro Maryland realized it's not enough to simply create new affordable housing opportunities, but it's also necessary to keep existing homeowners in their homes in safe and comfortably living environments. So let's meet Ms. Joan.
My name is Joan Motain, and this is my home. I've been living here for 24 years. I took care of the place myself, and I come at the back here, pull out the weeds and clean up the yard. It's a lot of work, and for one person. And this is the first house that I bought, and I love the place, everything about the house. I just love this community. It's a nice area, everybody's friendly. So I go for walks a lot every day. Most people know me from walking, so they say, oh my God, I wish I could walk like you. Around July of 2018, my daughter informed me of Habitat for Humanity Metro Maryland. She said it's a very good organization. They help older people with things in the programs. Aging in place means as you get older, you could stay in your home that you lived all the years of your life. You don't have to move to an environment you're not familiar with. I just rather stay here as long as I can.
Miss Joan came to us interested in weatherization. Interestingly enough, we were able to serve her with almost all of the programs that we have. Aging in place, when we implement it in clients' homes, ultimately allows them to stay in their homes for as long as they're comfortable to do so. With repair, we're working with existing housing stock. We're working with folks who are already constituents of the community. And ultimately what we're doing is we're setting them up to succeed. In weatherizing Miss Joan's home, what we were able to do is we were able to create an envelope, the home functioning as a system, an envelope that is ultimately tighter. When you're adding insulation, when you're air sealing in the attic spaces or even in your basement spaces, what you're ultimately doing is you're cutting down on drafts. In Miss Joan's case, her heating system was working much harder than it needed to be. It was also functioning somewhat unsafely. So it was emitting levels of carbon monoxide that were just simply unsafe in the home. So in using these weatherization funds, we were able to replace her boiler with an energy efficient boiler, an Energy Star rated boiler. So those utility bills go down. And when we're dealing with seniors, we're also trying to be as cognizant as we can be about folks who are on fixed income.
I mean, they saved me a lot of expenses. I mean, I didn't pay for anything. Then they had a home repair. I have 2 bathrooms, and then they changed the 2 faucets in each with lever-style handles and put on 3 grab bars. I didn't have any grab bars at all. There's nothing to hold on to, like if you slip. And as you get older, you can't do the things you used to do People don't realize that, but your body changes. The capable program is very important too. That's part of the habitat.
The Capable program is a framework by which we kind of marry a couple of different disciplines. Those disciplines are occupational therapy, registered nursing, and also kind of a handyman service, and Habitat plays that role.
She gave me tips on not to fall, especially you don't use too many scatterings or have things in your path.
When we engage the occupational therapist on capable jobs, what they do is they walk the home with the client, taking a different lens to the home than Habitat would. And so they're looking at functionally, how does the home work for that client? What challenges does that client have? And what they do from there is they create a work scope that they then make recommendations to us based off of. So they may include items like the railing on Miss Jones' driveway, things that we ordinarily would not look at, but that occupational therapist is looking at the client's safety in the way that they use their home.
I did fall a few times years ago because this place is slippery with the handrail. Oh my, they could hold on. So that's a very good thing. Safety-wise,
it's important to me to know that I'm living in a community that gives back and that also has an infrastructure that offers these kinds of supports where needed.
yeah, the people are very friendly, very nice, and easy to talk to. All the staff that they have, the habitat was very good to me. I gotta say, extraordinary. I couldn't believe the help they gave me. I think it's important to support Habitat for Humanity, Metro Maryland, because they do very important things for older people to stay in their homes. Yeah, this has meant me staying here for such a long time.
Wow, this has been an absolutely amazing program. Such great stories. I don't know about you, but I am energized. And as we wrap up this morning, I want to just share a few closing thoughts with you. Your voice, your time, your financial support builds strength, stability, and independence to families in need of a decent place to live. Yes, you can make a difference. For those watching right now, or even those seeing this program later today, I encourage you to consider donating to Habitat for Humanity, Metro Maryland, and the families they serve. Simply go to the link at the bottom of your screen and consider that your contribution of $50 provides a new door to keep a family safe inside their homes. Your donation of $100 or more helps to build or buy the wood to frame the walls or put insulation in the attic. Your monthly donation of $25 provides new windows that protects the home and keeps the family safe through the seasonal elements. Every contribution makes a difference in the quest for decent, affordable housing. As we conclude the program, a special thanks today to all of our sponsors for your commitment and your support to making decent and affordable housing a reality here in Montgomery and Prince George's counties. It has been an absolute pleasure connecting with you virtually today at Habitat Metro Maryland's virtual morning mixer. I look forward to seeing you again next year, and don't forget, please give.